Hello friends, welcome back to Fastcuts. Today we have come with an exciting movie, 6 Underground. 6 Underground is the most Michael Bay movie ever. It features multiple explosions, more car crashes than you can count, a body count in the double digits, a detached human eye, profane nuns, and a man running down the side of the Duomo in Florence, and that's just the opening 20 minutes. At least some of you will be familiar with the name Michael Bay. CGI, VFX scenes, amazing camera movement, and angles in action movies are his specialties. Above all, Michael Bay is the master of entertainment. Some of the first Hollywood movies we've ever seen were his masterpieces. Bad Boys 1, Bad Boys 2, the Transformers series, etc. Movies that blow off our mind. 6 Underground is a 2019 movie directed by Bay. Being Ryan Reynolds casted as the main character in this movie, 6 Underground is one of the most watched movies in the history of Netflix. 6 Underground is a cool, colorful action movie. So, without any further ado, let's go straight to the movie. Usually, the action movies would have less lag. The movie begins with a voiceover. The voice that is heard is that of Ryan Reynolds, who plays the lead role as One. With all that action, there's barely any room for a plot, much less a satisfying ending, and yet, somehow, 6 Underground has one anyway. By the end of 6 Underground, almost all of the characters have gone through complete arcs. The themes have been clearly stated and explored, and the pipe has been laid for the inevitable sequel. You were probably just too busy watching things blow up to notice. That's okay. 6 Underground isn't the kind of movie you watch for the story anyway. But first, a little setup. In 6 Underground, the world is full of very bad people who do very bad things. Who's going to stop them? Regular citizens can't fight back. They're crushed under the thumbs of the rich and powerful. The government won't do anything, not when there's money to be made. The brave men and women in the military do what they can. They're lost in a maze of regulations and red tape. That's why a billionaire known only as One decides to take matters into his own hands. Played by Ryan Reynolds, One faked his death 4 years prior and now uses his fortune to fund a team of mercenaries, each of whom has also died and cut themselves off from the rest of the world to fight injustice. 2 is a former CIA operative with spy skills galore. Why is a French citizen in the CIA? It's not explained. 3 is a former hitman who wants to make up for his past sins. 4 is a thief and a parkour expert who can traverse any terrain. 5 is a doctor who provides the team with medical assistance. And 6 is a reckless, brash driver who's almost as good as he thinks he is. Together, these ghosts set out to change the world, or at the very least, die trying. 6 Underground foreshadows the ending to its main plot fairly early. About half an hour into the movie, we see a flashback in which One is in Paris where he meets the evil ruler of Turkestan, Rovak, at a performance of Shakespeare's Richard III. It's an important meeting. Rovak's smug attitude convinces One to found his own paramilitary organization. Once it's up and running, Rovak is its first target. The play offers One and Rovak the opportunity to trade barbs about how tyrants always get their comeuppance, but the parallels between Rovak's downfall and Richard III run deeper than that. In the play, Richard keeps his brother Clarence locked away in a tower where he can't interfere with Richard's plans. Rovak does the same thing to his brother, Murat, just swap the Tower of London for a Hong Kong skyscraper, forcing the ghosts to break Murat out. Naturally, it's One's group of ghosts who invade Turkestan, turn the citizens against Rovak, and break into the dictator's yacht, leading to Rovak's death. The last thing that Rovak sees before his own people tear him to shreds? One and company's smiling faces. It's not that kind of a movie. At the end of the day, 6 Underground is all about the healing power of family, both the one that you're born with and also the one that you choose for yourself. When 6 Underground begins, one is convinced that the best way to run his renegade military operation is to minimize all emotional ties. The ghosts only refer to each other by number and don't know their partner's real names. They only operate in cities where they've never been before and can only interact with people they've never met. When 6 dies in the film's opening mission, 2 suggests that the group is his only family. "We're not a family," one scoffs, "not the Cleavers." But you can't have a group of people operating in close proximity like that, especially not in life or death situations, without building bonds. Over the course of 6 Underground, the ghosts grow closer. Against one's wishes, they share their real names. While freeing Murat, 4 gets cut off from the group. 1 tells the ghosts to leave 4 behind, but they defy his orders and rescue their comrade. Ultimately, it's not a bad thing. The closer the ghosts get, the better they work together, the more successful they become, and the happier they are. By the end of the movie, they're a family. A dysfunctional one, sure, but a family just the same. Despite what one says, he desperately wants a family. His crack about the Cleavers isn't just a one-off, as we learn later. The Ghost's airplane headquarters is full of old Leave It to Beaver DVDs. The plane he crashes to fake his death is full of pictures of his serious girlfriend. Even one's turn towards vigilantism is sparked by family. He's inspired to found the Ghosts when delivering medical supplies to Turkestan, a stop that's more about photo ops than really helping people, and sees firsthand what happens when Rovak uses chemical weapons on his own people. As one passes out gas masks, it's not the mass suffering that makes one reconsider his life choices. It's the plight of a few children, separated from their families, choking on the gas. Ultimately, one accepts that personal connections make you stronger, not weaker. After stopping Rovak's reign of terror, one returns to New York. He clandestinely follows his ex and realizes that she has a 4-year-old blonde-haired child. We don't know for sure that the kid is one's, but it seems pretty likely. Before, one thought he had to give up his life to help others. Now, he has something to live for, and he's even more willing to fight for it. Almost every other ghost goes through a similar journey. When she was with the CIA, 2 ignored her emotions and followed orders she knew were wrong. 3 was disowned by his elderly mother for his violent job, which ended up orphaning a young girl. 4 was abandoned by his friends after a heist went sour. All of them decided to give up their normal lives to join one, hoping to find redemption along the way. Every one of these characters finds salvation in their family. After 2 and 3 hook up in Las Vegas, 2 lets down her emotional barriers and pursues a real relationship. 3 introduces 2 to his mom, and the son and mother reconcile. After the ghosts, including 1, rescue 4 from danger not once but twice, the reformed thief realizes he finally has friends he can trust. Even 5 seems happier with this newfound camaraderie, although she gets the short shrift in the movie. Unlike the other ghosts, 5 doesn't get a flashback explaining her motivations, and her medical skills barely contribute to the film's action scenes. That's too bad, since Adria Arjona turns in a compelling performance. But it does leave some ground to explore in the sequel. 7, played by Corey Hawkins, has a slightly different arc. 7 already has people who love him. He doesn't join the team until 6 dies during the Ghosts' first mission, leaving an opening in the squad. Before joining the Ghosts, 7, also known as Blaine, was an army sniper stationed in Afghanistan. One day, while surveilling a meeting, he spots a terrorist masquerading as a UN representative. Blaine asks his superiors for permission to shoot the man. They decline. A bomb explodes and many of Blaine's fellow soldiers are dead. Traumatized, Blaine returns home. 1 is waiting for him with an offer. "I will never tell you not to pull that trigger," 1 says. That's all Blaine needs to sign up. Except it's not exactly true. The rest of the ghosts don't trust 7, and 1 constantly stops Blaine from following his instincts. When 1 tells 7 to abandon 4, who's being chased by the bad guys, the former soldier rebels. After Afghanistan, he won't lose another comrade. He pulls a gun on 3, who's driving, and forces everyone to wait for 4. During the film's climax, when 1 goes back to save 4 from certain death, we see how much 4 has rubbed off on him. Ultimately, 7 is the one who brings the team together. He might have joined the Ghosts for different reasons than everyone else, but they wouldn't have become a family without him. Even as 6 Underground's credits roll, 1 remains a mystery. He's the only member of the Ghosts who doesn't reveal his real name. Despite his fortune, none of the rest of the squad recognizes him, although that's not too bizarre. As 1 points out, other than Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and a handful of others, how many other billionaires do you really know? Still, there's more going on than 1 lets on. He has no problem getting top-of-the-line weapons and military equipment. He never explains how he found the other Ghosts or how he knew exactly when to approach them while recruiting. He's hooked into the international intelligence community to an absurd degree. Most suspiciously, he's incredibly handy with military-grade firearms. Even for a man with money and government connections, it seems like 1 is more than just a dude who works with magnets. The other characters call attention to all of this multiple times, but neither 1 nor 6 Underground offer any answers. 1's true identity is 6 Underground's biggest dangling plot thread. If there's a sequel, expect 1's backstory to play a big part. By the end of 6 Underground, the Ghosts have created a coup in Turkestan. Rovak is dead and his pro-democracy brother is in control. The civilians have been saved from another round of chemical attacks. The squad is happy. The mission is done. But it's just the first mission. As 1 explains earlier in the movie, Rovak was just the first name on the Ghosts' hit list. There are 8 more. Despite all of the setbacks, the Ghosts made the world a slightly better place, but their work isn't done. There are still bad people out there, and the Ghosts are going to take them out. In other words, if 6 Underground is a hit, Michael Bay and writers Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick have already planted the seeds for up to 8 sequels. Hope you liked 6 Underground's unique concoction of mayhem. You're going to be watching these movies forever. On March 7, 2018, it was reported that Michael Bay would direct the action thriller film 6 Underground, based on the script by Paul Wernick and Rhett Reese, which would be produced by Skydance Media's David Ellison, Dana Goldberg, and Don Granger, along with Bay. In May, it was reported that Netflix would distribute the film, which they intend to be a new action franchise with Ryan Reynolds starring in the lead role. In July 2018, Dave Franco, Manuel Garcia Rulfo, Adriana Arjona, Corey Hawkins, Ben Hardy, and Leor Raz joined the cast. The next month, Melanie Laurent and Payman Mahdi were announced as part of the cast. Principal production commenced on July 30th, 2018. Over the subsequent months, shooting would be completed in several cities of Italy, in Los Angeles, Budapest, and in the United Arab Emirates cities of Al Ain, Liwa Oasis, Ras Al Khaimah, Sharjah, Al Jazeera Al Hamra, and particularly in the Emirate of Abu Dhabi. In the UAE, 24 locations were used, some standing in for Las Vegas, Afghanistan, California, Hong Kong, and the fictional Turkestan. The UAE military worked with the crew, providing soldiers as extras as well as aircraft that appear in the film. Production designer Jeffrey Beecroft made this comment: "I've shot a lot of military stuff with Michael Bay, but I never had the ability to have 6 Apache helicopters, 10 Blackhawks, and soldiers." In Italy, some filming was also done at Cinecittà Studios in Rome and on the Kismet, a super yacht rented from Pakistani-American businessman Shahid Khan. The lengthy car chase, set in the historic center of Florence, consisted of sequences filmed in Florence itself between August 22nd and September 22nd, 2018, but also in Siena, Rome, and Taranto. Michael Bay was able to obtain permits to close streets to film the speeding cars. In an interview, Bay expressed some surprise that Florence had allowed filming of the car chase scene in its historic area. "There's a lot of priceless stuff in this movie," he said. "Like where we have cars flying between an obelisk." Why they allowed me to have flying cars by an obelisk that's 800 years old, I don't know, but we didn't hurt anything. After Bay watched their videos on YouTube, British parkour team Storer joined the film's production to choreograph and perform the parkour sequences in the film. They performed the stunts between skyscrapers and cranes, including some scenes on the Florence Cathedral. Principal photography wrapped on December 15, 2018. The film's production reportedly cost $150 million, making it one of the most expensive films made by Netflix at the time. Lorne Balfe composed the film's score. He had previously worked with Michael Bay in 13 Hours. Milan Records released the film soundtrack on December 13, 2019. If you like this channel, please do share, and we'll see you soon in the next video.